My name is Mathew Care and I'm the CEO of the Haus Ples group. Haus Ples, for those of you who don't know, is the leading real estate website in Papua New Guinea. We run, obviously, the website and app, which aggregates listing data across all of PNG for sale and rent from different real estate agents. We also run a real estate survey, which we'll talk a bit about today, some of the results from our 2021 survey. We also have a new tool, which is the market trends, which gives us demand and pricing data across the market, which we think we're very interesting. We'll discuss that today as well. We also run quite a large expo each year, which hasn't run for a couple of years, unfortunately, to Housing Expo, but hopefully we'll run that next year. And we have another website, a sister website called marketmary.com, which is a general classified website. So what we're going to discuss today is a little bit about market sentiment in Papua New Guinea, how are people thinking about the market, what is the data telling us about the market based on our listing information and our usage of the websites and app, and then a bit of an overview of new projects. Okay, so market sentiment. So, starting in the bottom left corner, just where are people looking for real estate? How are they getting their information about the market, which we find to be very interesting. So unsurprisingly, in 2020 and 2021, we've seen online become a much bigger source of people's information. So just the difference between 2020 was slightly over 60% in terms of online for real estate information. And now that's approaching 70% in 2021. Not surprising given lockdowns. Agents are still relevant. It seems that print media has taken the biggest sort of hit in terms of viewership for real estate data, which is not really surprising. In terms of how people are thinking about the market, what is their, are they optimistic? Do they think now is a great time to keep renting, buying or selling a property? The top right-hand corner, we've got some of that information. I think the key thing is that despite the fact that we've been in COVID, when we asked this question in January 2021, nearly 70% of people said that they think now's a good time to buy a property. So there's still, and this is consistent in actually the last 4 years we've run this survey, people are constantly buoyant about the property market in PNG. They generally perceive that prices will increase and that it's a good time to buy. And when we move down to the graph below, that's borne out by this year's survey as well. Most people perceive that prices for both sale and rental will continue to increase. Okay, so the data. This is really interesting. We launched this product last year, sort of late in the year, and it takes all of the real estate information that we receive from the agents that upload to our website across 4,000 properties. And we aggregate that data together with the search usage of the website into some great tables and usable information. So in terms of demand trends, looking at Port Moresby specifically, rental demand based on search volume. So how many people are actually searching for property? This graph gives us that information and split out against residential property, which we divide into apartments and houses, and then all lands and all commercial. And what you can see is that throughout, from July last year to November, we had relatively flat demand, a little bit of an increase across residential, a big increase in January. That can show seasonality. That's absolutely something it happens in Australia. January is something that is a time when people generally move house. We don't actually know yet whether or not this is seasonal in PNG, because this is the first sort of full year we're running this information, but potentially that's seasonal. And then pretty much in January, we've seen a consistent reduction in search volume. And you can see that it bottomed out between April and May this year. However, is now rebounding, and that's no doubt because of lockdown. What's interesting is that apartments are rebounding much faster than houses. Houses are lagging behind apartments by about 25%, and commercial is lagging by about 30%. In terms of pricing trends, this is, again, we're looking at pricing trends in Port Moresby rental, median listed price. What we're seeing is quite a lot of volatility in 2-bedroom apartment prices. You can see in dark blue there that from sort of November last year The pricing on 2 bedrooms has dropped, bottomed out in March, April, whereas 3 bedrooms have been more consistent. In terms of houses, again, they've dropped substantially. The bottom there in red, you see that quite a big drop from September, but now coming back up April to May. So some interesting pricing trends, and generally 3-bedroom apartments have been pretty solid, whereas 2-bedroom have been hit quite dramatically. In terms of buyer demand, people are searching to purchase real estate. July to July 2021, what we can see is that across the whole residential market, demand has been progressively falling. So that's basically the pink there. You can see that's an amalgamation of apartment and houses. It's coming down quite dramatically with a few peaks and troughs, but it absolutely bottomed out again in March and April, consistent with the rental. And the biggest drop here has actually been in apartments in terms of search volume. It is bouncing back again since May. And so that's positive for the market. It's back about 30%. Whereas in terms of buyer demand, houses have actually been the strongest segment. So you can see there in green, they suffered a much lower sort of drop off versus apartments in dark blue. So houses only decreased in terms of demand search volume by about 34%, whereas apartments have dropped a lot more. And then land has been even weaker. We've seen consistent reductions in land. Okay, in terms of sale prices, what we see here is that despite the fact that people thought in January 2021 that prices would increase, they haven't. They've been pretty flat across the board. So given COVID, that's probably a pretty good result. So in terms of how the market's moved, what we can see is that apartments 1 and 2, 2 and 3 bedrooms have been relatively consistent, although 3-bedroom apartments have dropped in terms of pricing. In terms of houses, in red and pink, the 3 bedrooms have increased a little bit and come back down the last month, whereas 2 bedrooms have been relatively flat. So yeah, 3-bedroom apartment, houses and apartments have probably experienced the biggest drop off in terms of actual properties for sale since January. I think that logically feeds into what's happening in the market around new projects. So in terms of major new projects, the first one that people are generally very interested in is a very large project, Harbourside South. It's 20 stories of residential and commercial units, 88 units. It's due to complete in January 2023, and you can see from the photo there it's progressing, and it's rapidly being built, and it'll be interesting to see when that comes online. It's not a huge amount of property, it's substantial, but it'll be interesting to see how that affects pricing. Airways units completing very, very soon, 24 units, price between 6,500 to 7,000 kina per week, coming online in September. And then we have Sasiva Industrial Park, which is opposite the wharf there. It's 26 hectares of industrial, retail and commercial real estate. There's a number of stages to this project, but there are 36 lots due to be completed by the end of 2023. In terms of residential, I guess affordable property, these are the 2 big projects at the moment. There's obviously other projects that are releasing further phases and a resale phase, such as Edai Town. But in terms of new projects, the first one that was launched late last year is a project called Valkyrie Estate near 8 Mile. It's 200 lots off the plan. It can be purchased on its own as just a standard lot, or off the plan between 480 and 600,000 kina for a completed house, and there'll be 200 lots sold in that between now and the end of 2024. The other project that's launching very soon, we're working a lot on this project, is Tahuva Town at Napa Napa. It's a big project. It will eventually be over 2,000 off the plan houses, affordable, between 200,000 and 500,000 kina. And there'll be 200 lots hopefully launched and sold between now and the end of 2023. So that's a long-term project. we're quite involved in marketing both of these projects on our website. Valkyrie's in sale right now, and Tahoova's launching in the next 4 weeks. So exciting. So in terms of, that's a bit of a wrap of the market. Our website has a lot of great information. Some people may not be aware that it's there, but I would encourage you to go on, download our survey, have a look at the information that's contained in there. It's got lots of great data. And then also look at our market trends, updated monthly, totally free to use, and is great for planning, whether you're a real estate agent, someone starting a business, probably developer, a bank, insurance. It's completely free, and I think it's a great asset to the real estate industry.